All right, so a business owner in Oakland says living and working in Little Saigon is like war times. Guys, this is not great. And it's not like the first person that said that the Bay Area is basically like an all-out war zone at this point. Just like a few months ago, we got this guy from Afghanistan in San Francisco who opened like a vape shop or like smoke shop, whatever you want to call it. It got robbed by like $100,000 worth of items. And the dude straight up said that San Francisco is like worse than Afghanistan because at least Afghanistan theft is very serious and it's punishable by a lot of different things. So straight up, Bay Area is basically a war zone at this point, especially Oakland. If you want to open a business in Oakland, really consider about your life choices. This is probably not a place to be working, living, and investing in Oakland. In fact, Oakland already have several potential construction projects being halted because of how bad this place is getting. So where is Little Saigon? It's basically this place in Oakland here. You do have First Avenue all the way down to about 18 to 20 Avenue. Like this is kind of Little Saigon. You got all sorts of different Vietnamese cuisine, shops, and a lot of Vietnamese people live here. And it's like a pretty big cultural place, right? If you want good Vietnamese food, if you want to experience that cultural stuff, like all the shops here have like a lot of these foreign letters. It looks absolutely sick. It's a great place. I love it. A lot of people say it's a great tourist destination if you want authentic Vietnamese cuisine and malls and shops. But there seems to be a massive string of robberies and also even violent crime in this area. And let me tell you guys, these business owners, they just want to make money. They don't want to get robbed all the time. So essentially what he's saying is describing living and working in Oakland is always in fear 24/7. And he and several others actually attended a meeting in Little Saigon to demand action. I mean, look at this. People getting stalked, people getting robbed, cars being broken in, people getting robbed on a constant basis, like basically every single day. Like people saying that Little Saigon's neighborhood is constantly being terrorized. And of course, criminals like to rob this place because it's filled with like a decent amount of money. There's constant streams of people here. There's also a lot of very good restaurants, a lot of really big malls, grocery shops. So I mean, a lot of them are immigrants just trying to make a living, trying to make some cash, and they're constantly being robbed, harassed, and of course a lot of violent crime as well. And this is like pretty bad, right? And if you also look at some of like the Oakland stuff, it's a pretty bad place to do any kind of business. And I wouldn't really trust parking my car here either because congrats Oakland, they are now the highest car theft city in the entire country. They're number one. And this is what it looks like, especially when you defund the police. Oakland's 911 is also a big joke. You have to wait in line sometimes. And a lot of times when there are robberies, cops take forever to come because of the whole defund the police situation. And guess what? The whole crime wave in San Francisco and Oakland, it's kind of one of the reasons why so many businesses are leaving. And also, they're short on several hundred cops, not just like a few cops. We're talking about several hundred cops, even like above 1,000 police officers at this point. And this is why crime is so crazy. Not to mention, if you rob some of these stores here, you really just get a slap on the wrist. In fact, a lot of them are just misdemeanors and they get let out. I mean, you have people who already robbed like 5 different stores and they're still walking the streets. It's absolutely crazy. And these Oakland guys are tired of this, right? All they want to do is just to make some money, right? Open a business, make some money in peace, and give back to the community a little bit. But nah, I mean, it's basically a war zone on a constant basis. Community is also absolutely sick and tired of this. There's so much crime in the Little Saigon neighborhood. It's also affecting business. And obviously, publications like these don't really help the tourist scene either. And not to mention tourism and basically all the Bay Area is at an all-time low. So what's going to happen? Well, we don't really know, right? And that's basically the 7-Eleven is constantly getting robbed. A lot of like the police presence isn't really that great in this area. And the cops don't even want to be here. Now, here's the thing. If you just type in Oakland business robbery, look at the amount of news articles that come out, right? It's constant. It's every single day. And when you open a business in a place like this, it's not great. My city is not incredibly big. We have a little under 500,000 people, but robberies are honestly pretty rare here. And we're really tough on the crime. And the laws here are very, very strict. And this is why, we don't have that many robberies or burglaries here. But Oakland is absolutely crazy. This is like GTA 5 Cyberpunk 2077. There's crime everywhere. There is no law enforcement at this point. And like I said before, cops are honestly kind of scared to do anything because they run the risk of being canceled in this very left-leaning city. So we don't really know what's going on. In fact, it's so bad, some Oakland businesses say you're not allowed to pay in cash because thieves are going to steal all of the cash. So a lot of these Oakland businesses are straight up just getting rid of registers and only having like the Square machines and only having credit cards, Apple Pay, stuff like that. So it's bad. I mean, imagine being a business owner in Oakland and you have to get rid of cash options for your customers simply because of the amount of robberies happening. And it's happening everywhere. I mean, this is like a pretty bad place to be. And if you just pretty much put the Google guide down in like Little Saigon, I mean, it's a pretty decent place. A lot of shops, a lot of stores, and the business seems pretty good. There's always shops, there's always stores everywhere. But like I said before, the amount of robberies happening in this place is at an all-time high. I mean, look at this. It's not just like Little Saigon constantly being hit. We also have, for example, this Mexican restaurant in Oakland hit by burglars. Owner says $10K in tips, which are strictly for the staff members, are stolen alongside with a few bottles of alcohol. And a lot of other businesses are apparently hit as well. There's also videos which I'll show you in potential future videos of whole entire streets having been looted. And pretty much police officers, they can't really do anything. Like I said before, if they try to do anything, they'll probably get canceled. And they're pretty short-staffed. 911 center is short-staffed. This is kind of like what happens when you defund the police and also encourage this type of behavior. Businesses leave, right? A lot of the people in Little Saigon are moving to other areas. They don't want to be here. It's just an absolute, it's so crazy. It just really doesn't make any sense, right? You would think like the city will change a little bit and maybe enforce stricter laws, but no, nothing's really been done. I think every single person is just afraid of being canceled, this and that. But at this point, you know, the amount of crime in San Francisco and the Bay Area is at an all-time high. And it's constant every single day. I mean, you can't even sit in your car without getting robbed at this point. So it kind of sucks. I mean, I really do hope Oakland changes some of this stuff because, hey, man, when the business owners are saying that working and living in Little Saigon is like war, it's probably not the best place to be. Now, here's the thing. I like the Bay Area. I'll stay straight up. I say in their video, the Bay Area really isn't that bad if they do fix things up. I mean, it's pretty nice. It's a pretty fine place. San Francisco is a pretty fine place. Napa Valley, you know, the Stanford area, Palo Alto, they're great places filled with tech and great ideas. But with the recent rise in crime, car theft, and with 150,000 office workers working remote because of the bad city conditions, Bay Area is taking a massive hit. In fact, in the next few years, they're going to be running at a massive budget deficit. So if they really don't start changing their ways, it's going to get worse every single day. And I think a lot of the residents are starting to notice this. A lot of big retail stores are leaving. San Francisco lost a bunch of malls and businesses. It's just not looking so great for the Bay Area. But if they could change things up, you know, just change it up a little bit, you know, enforce something, and maybe just help out some of the business owners, I think a lot of businesses will be willing to stay. And even a lot of the businesses who leave will probably start crawling back. But let's see what happens. It's not happening right now.